Hello, my lovely inkblots, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Ash, and I'm a writer and a VTuber, among other things, and today I'm actually going to be talking about a little project I've been working on for my creative writing class. So, as I mentioned before, I'm a writer, but for the last year or so, I haven't written much. It's not that I haven't tried, but none of my projects have been resonating with me very much. I wrote some stuff for a creative writing class last semester, and I got a good flash fiction piece out of that. I've actually been querying that one here and there, but I'm not really sure what to do with it because it's really hard to find queer publications that take flash fiction. But all I really got out of that class was that flash fiction piece. I didn't really like anything else that I wrote, even if my classmates and my professor did. As you can probably tell from what I've already said, I am a college student. I am actually an English major, and I'm planning on minoring in creative writing because it fills my remaining requirements for my degree, so why not? So I took another creative writing class this semester, and so far, aside from, reading responses and critiques, all I've really had to write is a short story, and honestly, I am so excited about this short story. So, the name of this story is Morrigan's Cabin, and basically it's a story that follows a legendary hero named Morrigan Galwin years after she stops the big bad evil guy in her world. She has some of her own personal struggles with how the final battle went and how it affected her and her friends, and so she decides to move to a secluded cabin in a forest. After a while, she finds herself changed by the forest in ways she didn't anticipate, but finds herself excited about it. You might be able to see why I am considering this a trans short story. And I don't want to share too much, but basically this story has themes of loss, trans joy, finding yourself in unexpected ways, and living confidently in spite of adversity, which I think a lot of us are trying to do right now. I originally got the idea for this story from a Vocaloid song called Level 99, which is about a hero that gets tired of her life after saving the world. Basically, that's where the premise for Morrigan's character comes from. But I wanted to change things up a bit, and I wasn't quite sure how to, aside from changing the setting and making the ending different and things like that. Usually when I do peer critiques for my creative writing class, I try to bring, the second draft, because the first draft usually I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. That's just how it goes. But I try to bring a second draft so that way it's a bit more obvious what I'm going for, and so people can kind of help me a little bit with bringing the story further in the direction that I've already chosen for it. But the first version of this story seemed a little bit directionless even to me. But after getting my peer critiques and everything and reading through my classmates' notes, I've realized that a lot of what has been going on with me lately has bled into this piece. So I've noticed that I tend to write a lot when I feel like things aren't going well and when I feel like I don't have control over anything. This is part of the reason why writing has been a coping mechanism for me for so long and for the entire time I was growing up. It's why I wrote 2 books during my last 2 years of high school. Writing is just how I naturally deal with these things. Now, I'm not trying to vent or turn this video into a therapy session or anything, but I've been struggling a lot this year, and a lot of it relates directly to my transition and, people's reactions to it. I know a lot of trans people are probably feeling very isolated right now with how things are going on. But I've been having a difficult time dealing with some members of my family, and I lost people that I considered to be my close friends. I'm probably going to talk about this stuff in a future video, but this feeling of isolation is why I wanted to write something like this in the first place. Also, I've been having a lot of feelings about people in my life not believing me about my identity, so I wrote a character who kind of goes through the same thing in the rising action of the story. And so after I got my peer critiques, I decided to lean into this a lot more. I had the idea of making this a trans-themed or trans-adjacent story since the beginning of writing it, but I was worried because the main character, Morrigan, gains a more monstrous appearance in the story, and I didn't want people to think that I'm equating trans people to monsters. But I changed my mind for a few reasons. For one, I realized I could take my own experiences with how I've reacted to certain parts of my transition, specifically the things that I didn't think I'd be excited about, but it turns out I'm actually really excited about, and weave those things and those reactions into how Morrigan reacts to her own changes. And some of what Morrigan goes through relates to my own feelings of annoyance with people assuming that I am becoming a different person just because I look different and some superficial things are changing about me. I think the main internal thing has been gaining more confidence, which I'm going to explore in the newest version of the story. With that being said, I'm working on draft 2 right now, and I'm aiming to have the story ready to share by this time next month. I do have to submit it as the final for my creative writing class, so I have to have it done before then. But I'm still working on it, and I think this video will still be accurate when I'm finished. At first, I initially considered doing something similar to what I've been doing with my trans flash fiction piece, which is querying places and seeing if I can find a home for it. But with how things have been going in the world lately, I feel like it's important for me to get my stuff out there, and I need to share more of my writing anyway, because I only have one story up and I'm working on rewriting it. Anyway, if you'd be interested in Morrigan's Cabin, let me know in the comments what you think. If there's some interest in it, I will probably make a short announcing when I release it in a community post. But I'm also considering making a video where I read or narrate it, since I miss when I used to do reading streams. I need to keep writing so I can start doing those again. Anyway, that's all I've got to talk about for this video. Wish me luck when it comes to rewriting and revising this project. I might need it with how crazy my school schedule has been lately. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!